Hey everybody, thank you yet again for listening to another episode of Ordinary People Extraordinary Stories. We have a brand new subscriber by my man, Richie. Thank you very much, Richie. I appreciate your support. We also want to go ahead and thank Courtney as well as Tamsin and Aiden. Give you guys all a shout out for supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in also supporting the channel, feel free to click the link below in the description to our Patreon, where you will have access to additional episodes, extra episodes, and extra bits from the show that we don't put on our Spotify and our YouTube channels. Now, with that being said, I'm going to start talking, and you're going to start listening to the next episode. Here we go. Cody. Cody. Hey, Cody, where are you at, man? Oh, hey there. I didn't see you there. Name's Tristan. This is another episode of Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. Yeah, I'm here at Discovery Park at Aftershock looking for my friend Cody, otherwise known as the Washington Waldo. You see, Cody he's a sick dude. I happened to ride the rail with him at the Death Clock show. Told you concert virgins, riding the rail is when you stay gripped to the rail at the front of a show for the entire show. It's an easy feat to do as a teenager, but as you get older, this becomes a more and more impressive feat. Cody was the man who stayed with me on the rail for the entire death metal show. And in just that short time, we became friends, and I told him he just had to come onto my show. Cody! Where's
Hey,
Cody? Cody! Man, where's Cody?
Tristan, I'm right behind you.
Oh, dude! As if I can miss the colors. You see, everyone, Coden often goes by the name the Washington Waldo, and you'll get to see him this weekend if you plan on going to the Aftershock concert in Discovery Park at Sacramento, California.
That's right. And if you can find me and take a picture and send it to OPESpodcast@gmail.com, you can actually get a chance to win a free membership to his Patreon.
Hey, brother, that's my line. But yes, the first 2 to 3 people who send me a picture with Cody or the most pictures will get a chance to win a free membership to Patreon. That includes all access to current and future content to the Patreon free of charge.
Now, that's a heck of a deal. Anyways, I need to head out, man. I got to go see Slayer. I'm heading to the pit.
That's right. Angel of Death, baby. Take it easy, man. Remember, look both ways. Watch out for that mosh pit. And speaking of Seasons in the Abyss, we got a podcast episode to start. So, if you're ready, let's get nice and hydrated. Let's grab that battle vest and throw some horns for another ordinary person with extraordinary story. Yeah. You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I keep asking. We're recording now, so it doesn't matter what the heck we say right now. But God, what do you want to talk about? I can tell you how my day is, how I'm doing, grief, or Death Clock concert, because those are all really good starting points.
Oh, man. Well, let's start easy, man. How you doing?
I'm sad. Big chunk is sad. I mean, we just got thank you, baby girl. I love you so much. Everyone say hi to Brittany. Hi, Brittany. She's so sweet. She's so sweet on me. She said she wasn't gonna get me the rice, and she did anyways. I love you, baby. Have fun picnic. She's having an outside picnic. Have a fun picnic. Bye, baby. But that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling sad, but I'm recognizing I'm actually really blessed with my life. I have a decent job. I'm eating takeout Asian food. That's it.
There you go.
I'm sitting in a comfortable room. I got like, I mean, look at all this crap, you know? Like, that's the only thing I'm kind of afraid about being a dad. Like, I feel like I gotta get rid of a lot of this stuff. Like,
Just designate it your room.
fair. Is that the secret? Because I mean, you have a lot of expensive things, or at least like I see the merch memorabilia right behind you. I mean, you got a guitar, I think, too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I got this is one that I got from the Static X concert just recently.
That's what is that the so did you bring that or they gave that to you?
No, so it came with the ticket package that I bought. It was the VIP experience for Koichi Fukita,
Dude,
and I get one of the stage used guitars. And what they did was they sent me the guitar ahead of time, and I brought it to the concert, and they swapped it out for one that they used on the set after the show.
that is so
And they
cool.
just take the one I gave them to the next concert, and they do the same thing with anyone else that gets that package.
That's so sick. Cause like, I mean, let me just short ask, how was that show?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing.
And I'll be fair, I'll be frank. I know the importance of Static X. I've heard them in the music scene. I don't think I've ever really listened to their shit though, but I are they famous because they're insane musicians? Like is that kind of it or
They they're really good musicians for sure. A lot of it stemmed from the beginning of the whole new metal era. Same time as like Limp Bizkit and Korn and all them, and it just really kicked off at just the right time for them.
right, but like don't they also like shred hella crazy or is it just a new metal
Oh
thing?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're absolutely crazy.
And it was it someone because I heard very
Yeah.
famously someone died. Was it overdose or suicide?
So it was the lead singer Wayne Static. He died of an overdose, and then shortly after his passing, his wife Tara Reed, or Tara Static, ended up passing away by suicide.
Oh no, it got twofer. Damn it,
Yeah,
that
it was a sad
sucks.
one.
I apology to my future editor. And thank you for telling me that beautiful story. I'm gonna have to edit that chopstick noise out of the microphone. Like it's funny. Every time we edit this though, it's always just like him just be like, "Can you stop drinking your water into the fucking mic?" Like just gonna. But nah, that's oh that okay. So weird question, but like so with the new singer, how do they compare compared to OG?
um, I was honestly impressed, just because I knew essentially who it is that's putting on the mask and pretending to be him, be the lead singer now, and as it's not been officially named as to who it is, it's kind of an obvious one as far as the people that follow the concerts and the singers around them and the bands that are around them. And
But you're saying that the only does the guy keep wearing this mask the entire show?
he does, he does. He puts on a mask to basically represent Wayne, and they do all the same stuff. And it's granted, it's nowhere. I don't think it's as good as Wayne, but it's a really good way to represent him now. It's they pay respect to him immensely, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I mean, that's just so crazy that like a singer, because not saying all singers are narcissistic, and they're not all of them, but I mean, there's a kind of a bit of like self-love of a lead singer because you're the face, you're the singer, you're the look at me, you're Mick Jagger. And to think someone
Yeah,
would wear a Mick Jagger mask, I mean, it makes sense because it's like you're acknowledging how big those shoes are that you're filling. You're like, bro, I don't want to try to outfill them. I just want to be respectful, especially because I mean, okay, this is me trying to figure out like if I like Stack X or not. Give me like the radio hit song that you think is really good, and then tell me your favorite Stack X radio song.
um,
And I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry. I ask a lot of hard questions on this podcast.
I personally, uh, man, there's just so many.
I know. Only ask the hard questions on here.
Push It would probably be the first one that comes to mind as far as the
Radio
more
hit?
popular radio edit one of it.
Okay, got
It's
that.
been used in movies multiple times. It's been background music for all sorts of stuff, so it's definitely well
Ooh,
known.
it's a stop motion music video. We love those. Kind of reminds
Oh
me of like
yeah,
Tool. Is it the
music
same
video
guy
for
from the
that.
Tool music videos?
I'm not too sure actually on that one.
I want to research. I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but that's tight. Okay, so we got Push It by Static X. If you know what, if you can't remember, that's gonna be the question you're gonna save in your head, and you're gonna remind me at the end of the episode. You're like, "Oh, that fuck! I love this song. This is my favorite song."
My personal favorite, oh man, I'm with "Stupid" is a good one.
Okay.
Cannibal, man, yeah, there's a lot of them. The new stuff that they're doing is even pretty good too, so I really can't knock it. But "Push It" is definitely up there on the list for sure.
Okay. So Push It is. Okay. Well, you might have made a Static X fan will know. You know, it'd be fun. I mean, I think I'll find some time during the episode that, like, right now, I'll just like put it on real quick and just, you know, see if I'm a ready fan. But hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. My name's Tristan, and I'm speaking with my good friend Cody here. Cody, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Now, what's Cody's story? Well, Cody, it's funny how I met him. I met him from, and shout out to Jonathan Erndon. I hopefully say his name incorrect, but I'm pretty sure I just said it. But he got me those backstage passes for Death Clock, and that was a sick experience. And I got to meet this guy here on the rail. Now, to a bunch of you concert verheens, the rail is just referencing the front row, like the actual guardrail of the concert. And not only was Cody my rail warrior here, we were both riding it together for the whole show, but he was wearing a battle vest, which I want to talk about, and a kind of a bit of a Waldo getup. It was a striped red and white shirt, glasses, a fucking beanie, and a battle vest. And again, to people who don't know what a battle vest is, those are the kind of jean jacket vests you see at metal shows covered in patches and stuff. My man was wearing here one, and I was like, bro, I gotta pee. Hold on this spot. He's like, I got you, homie. Went over, came back, and I stopped seeing you after the show. Because once the concert started, you were like, we were islands. We drifted apart. I was like, bye, bye, guys. Just, um, but that's how I met him. And to further include the Waldo gimmick, not even a gimmick, my man here has an Instagram called, is it the Washington Waldo or Washington Waldo? I'm a
The
terrible
Washington Waldo.
the Washington Waldo. My guy here, this is something he does on so many shows. We'll get into how many shows that he's gone to, but I mean, we talked about the stars he's met, the kind of cool badass shit he's got. Granted, I thought you earned that guitar. I thought they were just like, fuck yeah, Waldo, here's the guitar. Which, you know, you could have. I believe you could have gotten that, but it just coincidentally you got it with the ticket package. But that's I won on the show, and he was. I gave you a business card, and that's where we're doing this. And thanks for jumping on the call with me, Cody.
No, I really appreciate the opportunity, Tristan. It was a fantastic experience meeting you at the concert.
It was crazy because, like, bro, I was just like hold my spot, and I looked at him, and I'd be like, and then that's how I knew we'd be friends forever. Like I said, hold up, I gotta pee. He's like, I got you. Well, F and A, dude. I'm man, and that's why I had to stop you. I had to stop me, man, from asking you those questions because, like, there's so many places we could go to. I mean, I told you how I'm feeling. We talked about kids, we talked about raising parents, and we talked about grief and loss. I know where we can start. That's crazy. I wasn't thinking about it before, but I know we can start. Let's first start maybe kind of how Washington Waldo started, and then can I ask you this question? Just answer this to me. Was somebody very close to you? Was she encouraging of it, or did she have something to do with this transformation of Waldo? Even a little bit,
Uh,
even a teeny tiny bit?
in a deeper aspect of why behind the why behind why I do it, maybe,
Okay.
but it's definitely not as much affiliated with that as the concert itself.
Let's just talk about, I guess, well, where this Washington Waldo started. Because from what I understand, kind of a lot of stuff's been going on with you. Like you live here now, but you lived in Alaska. And fellow folks, I knew all this just from like 5 minutes of meeting the guy. I just did. I got to meet this handsome fella, and yeah, I wanted to know more about how we came to Waldo. So yeah, I guess tell me, where did that even start? Was it just which? I guess what was the first show it started?
It started with Aftershock in California.
Hey, and all my Sacramentans make some noise! Yeah! Hell yeah! Was that which year?
It would have been 3 years ago now.
Oh shit! Wait! Right? Isn't that like right during the heart of the pandemic, like 21, 20?
Yep, yep. It was the Metallica concert. It was the one with Metallica for 2 days.
God, and people, do you remember that show? That was, dude, there were so many people. That was like Sacramento was like, oh my God, there's a horde. There's a
Yeah.
throng of people. And man, how was you probably had okay, fuck,
So
where were you at during that show? Like,
so that was my first Aftershock that I got to go to and really experience that level of a festival.
okay. Well,
And
what were your thoughts? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but
no, it's part of it for sure. My thoughts to it was one of a kind. There's so many concerts out there, but I had only been to 1 day concerts, maybe two, if I'm out in the woods or something like that, and it's like a bluegrass festival. But this was something that every day, no matter where I went, there was something or a band that I hadn't heard before or hadn't seen live, and it just made the experience that much more exciting. And during that experience is when, on the third night, I ended up running into somebody dressed as Waldo towards the end of the night, and the way that made me happy during that meetup, it just, I don't know, it struck a chord deep inside of me, and I wanted to make sure that I could bring that same level of excitement and joy and happiness to the other people that I run into at these concerts. And that's what really started me doing the Waldo bit.
was that kind of like were you kind of, well, if I can blankly ask you about like, were you kind of going through like a hard time? And kind of like that
I
moment
was
kind of really made it like shine because of how positive it was.
I was kind of going through a tough time between my divorce at the time was fairly new, so I was still dealing with that loss and having to be a single parent and taking care of my kids, which I'm very thankful I have full custody of. So
Praise
it
God.
put a lot on
And
my plate.
folks, he's doing great. He's teaching on Mario Kart and Mario Party, and like, I just, man, you're not a good daddy. And I'm kind of setting the bar low, but still, props to you.
But yeah, the concerts. This was back when I was in Alaska. We didn't get many very good concerts up there. We did on occasion, but it was just very sporadic.
Okay.
And so I would allow myself, after that incident of the divorce, I told myself I was going to allow myself to have fun. What's something that I really enjoy that I can, go a little overboard with and just it be about me having fun, not having to stress about the kids or what's going on at home or anything like that. And a coworker just happened to be from Sacramento. He invited me to go down with him, and it just
What's
worked
his
out.
name?
What's that?
What's his name?
Caden.
Okay. Shout out Caden, you Sacramento beast, fucking beast mode, flex. Send this episode to him. Be like, hey, I shouted you out. Go Aftershock.
Yeah, absolutely, I will.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, that's so tight, man. So forgive me if I misunderstood. So you met a Waldo at Aftershock back in Sacramento, and you're like, that was so cool. I want to do, or that was your first time you decided to do Waldo? Was at the
No, that
Aftershock?
was so the former. So I ran into him, and that's what got me into the idea of I want to do that too.
So, did you ever meet that Waldo again?
I totally did.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
It spirals into many meetups actually at Aftershock with the same guy.
There is a secret coven of Waldo's people. That is the title of the episode right there. The secret coven of Waldo. I love that. That is so rad. You're like the Santa Clauses of metal shows. I love it. Just you're like, dude,
And
Santa? What's up? I found him. Hell yeah.
And now here's the kicker, though, is that the guy that I met, his real name is Waldo.
What an asshole. I love what an asshole. Damn it, Waldo. Now, did he get that changed or was he happened to be named Waldo?
No, his born legal name is Waldo, and
And
he is an amazing gentleman.
I bet he is. And I'm sorry I called him an asshole. He probably is really nice. Like, that's so cool. But is he also a metalhead as well?
He is. He's a big metalhead.
Dude, hell yeah. Okay. Well, no, it's funny because I've actually interviewed Santa Clauses before, and it's just like it's this weird. I mean, I don't gotta tell you about it. You experienced it, that thing where it's like, oh yeah, you're a universal character, and everyone's just like, I know you, and
Yeah.
like it just let's take a picture. Let's spread some love. Let's just have like a "Sup, man, how's it going? You want a beer, Waldo, or whatever. So
Man, the pictures. Holy crap, the pictures.
pictures. And folks, we haven't even told you, like, and then like, what was it last year? It was last year. It was Aftershock. We saw Death Clock, right? You were Dr. Roxo.
Yes, I totally was.
I'm totally putting that. Can I put that picture? Can I take it? Put on my Facebook group? Because, like, bro,
Absolutely. Go for it. That was a fucking fun time.
the people who don't understand Dr. Roxo, he is a Van Halen clown in a very deep V. See all the bits. It's I always respect you guys, man. I always respect Dr. Roxos because I mean like that's commitment, man. Because you were
It took some bravery to get up into putting that costume on for sure. I'll tell you what, because
absolutely
I mean, for the viewers out there, you obviously can't see me very well, but I'm not exactly a small guy. So
got a gorgeous
putting,
it's got a gorgeous stomach,
hey man,
gorgeous belly.
full men are beautiful people too.
They are, damn it. Curvy's hot, man. People like thick girls. It's time for thick boys.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
That's the subtitle to this episode.
People always want to be in shape. Well, rounds of shape too. Okay.
Hell yeah, dude. Round's a sexy shape, dude. Round
But
eggs are round. And
yeah, eggs are round. People eat those.
fucking eat the shit out of those, dude. So,
But yeah, it's a rock though. That was something that took some encouragement to get into. But I was a very diehard Metalocalypse fan when it was on Adult Swim, and the cartoon was just something that was I wouldn't say a staple in my childhood or my teen years, but it was definitely something that I was very drawn towards. And after I learned that it was actual people playing the instruments and that I could actually go and see them,
oh yeah.
Brendan Small and Gene Hoglan and Neely Brosh and Pete Griffin, those are phenomenal musicians in their own right, for sure. And getting to see them was something that I wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to make that memory that much more special. So what better way than to dress up as a character from the show and try and ride the rail? I did, and that was just out of this world.
Hell yeah. Did anyone give like kudos like there's fucking Dr. Roxo here? Like yeah.
There was more people actually asking to take my picture with me or take my picture in general than those who asked me for the Waldo picture.
And because like you said, it's a commitment.
It
You
is.
gotta be okay with certain bitch just hanging out, it's a
You
vibe.
gotta be okay with people seeing your jump through your jumpsuit.
Hell yeah, man. And so, but yeah, like full circle. That's kind of how we met was that second Death Clock concert. So I mean, no, let me ask you, was it a staple part in your life? Like, were you part of like season one to like we're talking about the musical and then the eventual movie?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
I'd sit and we'd wait for the new episodes to come out every week on Adult Swim and stay up late, and me and my friends would just have a fucking blast with it.
dude, hell yeah, man. No, me and the homie too. I'm gonna send this too. Shout out Eric. But yeah, no. The moment I heard the Duncan Hills coffee jingle, I was like, "What? This is insane. This is so funny." And it shreds. Like the moment that solo came on, I'm like, "What the fuck? This is music!" Like, just
Right, right.
forget about it. And dude, like, okay, yeah, let's talk about this because from one Death Clock fan, and I can tell you're a true fan. to another. I got kind of disappointed. I feel like I don't know, all that stuff you wanted to say about like being a day one fan, and like I feel like I didn't get a chance to really talk to Brendan. I feel super quick. I came across. I told him I had a diaper on. I was just being cringy and weird.
And
Just
and that's something that I'm sure we'll get into as far as talking on the rail and proper bathroom etiquette, we'll
oh my
say.
god, that's hilarious. That's funny. That is the case because
Absolutely. And for those longer shows, it's almost necessary, for some people it's needed, and I respect the need.
it's well okay.
Yeah,
So
though, as far as it being, I wouldn't say rushed, but it was just at first, very general, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Carbon copy, hey, how you doing? Good to talk to you. Myself, when I went up and met Brendan and Gene, it was definitely brief, but it seemed more like it didn't feel like I was at the concert when I was talking to him all of a sudden. It definitely felt like just a normal conversation like what we're having.
yeah.
And then they started to notice the battle jacket, which you referenced earlier, and it's like, man, Gene's like, hey, hold on, what's that one? And he sees Dark Angel on my back, and he's like, oh, I like that one. And then he sees his name on my back. I've got just a Gene Hoglan patch, and he goes, oh, I like that one too. And it was nice because all of a sudden it turned him into a normal person. It wasn't, a famous musician or a rock star. It was like, hey, that's someone that's actually complimenting me about my stuff, not the
Yeah.
other way around. It was kind of cool, but it was so short.
Well, I guess that was my only complaint. It was too short, and because I don't know if you knew or remembered, but do you remember the business card I gave you?
I do. I actually still have it right here.
Fucking A. Well, hey, that's how you know the real one. Shout out. Well, I guess I'll tell you, I got those made specifically for that concert to give it to Brendan. And like, obviously he's busy. Obviously he's got shit to do, but I'm a little disappointed. I didn't get a message back or a no, or I'm trying to talk to the guy, trying to email the guy, trying to get a hold of him, but like, I don't know. So I guess what I'm telling you from one man to another is I'm disappointed because like that man's a genius to me. I love that fucking dude, and I wish I had more time to tell him how important his music was to me, or how his music really helped me at a dark emotional time. So
Definitely, I can understand that and feel very similar to that as well.
did you have a kind of an artist where you had an experience kind of like that?
I did actually, and it was more when I met them that I felt more let down for sure. But I still very much respected them for their passion to the craft and being who they were. And oddly enough, it was Wayne Static of Static X when I met him the very first time.
Okay.
And it was something so small and so funny to me. I felt it was absolutely hysterical, but I probably embarrassed the living shit out of him when I met him. Sorry, excuse me, pardon my language.
No, no, we you can say fuck, shit, cock, titty.
Uh,
Just be classy with it. But keep going.
when I met him, let's see, this was 2000. I want to say 2006. I met him the first time down in Medford, Oregon, at one of his tours, and I was the first person in line. So they picked like the first 5 or 10 people, and we got to go backstage and meet the whole band, and it was a really cool experience. And me, again, being a bigger guy, I always have been, even in high school. I go into that meeting and I go to shake his hand because he's standing there, and when you listen to the metal music, you expect them to have a firm handshake, something that would almost like break your knuckles in a sense. And
Right.
I wasn't expecting that, and so I tried to match the energy just right off the bat, and his handshake was lacking. We'll just say it was lacking.
Mm,
Very weak, and it was almost like as I grabbed his hand turned over, like not quite kiss my knuckles, but it was like, um, what's that? And I put my hand back, and his wife Tara was there, and the band was all there, and Tara starts kind of putting her hand over her mouth and chuckling, and Wayne gets really red in the face.
Oh
And I
no,
see all of a
dude.
sudden I upset him. I all of a sudden my heart stopped. I was like, dude, I'm like, I mean that with the most utmost respect, but like I expected you to kind of break my hand when you shook it, not that. That being said, I respect you as an artist. I really look forward to the show. It's going to be great. And all of a sudden, I just felt like such a horrible person.
It's funny, dude. It's like, man, you probably fucking made him do it, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I'd be pretty like, okay, I'm
And,
done, man. I can't be it
and I
anymore. Like,
thought about that too. It's like maybe it was me grabbing his hand too hard. Maybe I hurt him. Did I hurt him? Who knows?
just
And we never
emotionally,
will
just his beautiful pride.
know.
So, okay, let me ask you this then. So, the same Wayne Static situation, like after that embarrassing thing, did you like, did the conversation, was it just weird? Or was it literally just like my man got weak handshake and that ruined it for you? Like,
It was kind of just a one and done. We laughed about it, and then it was like dust in the wind, water on the back. It just wasn't even a thing anymore. The energy wasn't any different, thankfully.
I think that's just my main issue is that I felt rushed, but I also think I intentionally rushed myself. I should have just kept going, talking. I don't know. Just okay. So I guess my question for you is: you think I should keep trying to contact the guy until they get told no?
Uh, my suggestion with Brendan, just because I've seen how he interacts with people on his Instagram and stuff like that, and his other accounts, he does chat every once in a while, but he's obviously a very very
Busy.
busy individual.
Yeah.
But make a video and then tag him in it, and then get him to see it that way, or put it in one of the Metalocalypse fan pages, because he's in there. He definitely is in there, and he sees it.
That's a good ass idea. I'm not finna do that. Because I'm also not trying to be like a weird stalker. Because like the entire thing, I'm realizing I'm like, okay, it's like where is the line before I'm just pretty white femaling it? Where I'm just like, okay, like message, come on my podcast, let me cut your face off, let me wear your skin. Now I'm Brendan. I'm making Galacticon 3. Uh, you know, like where's the line? You gotta. I'm kidding. You know. Yeah, man, no, because that was a sick show. I mean, just everything about that show was sick. The Dragon Force was tight. Necrogoblicon was hella funny, and
I was blown away with Necrogoblicon, honestly.
they were great. Like yeah, shout out to the synth player, the guy on the keyboards, man. I got to hit his vape. That guy was a tight motherfucker. Like,
Hell yeah. I ended up getting his guitar pick, actually, because he was
hell
going
yeah,
back and forth between the synth and the guitar. And I also got Gee's drumstick as well.
dude, fuck yeah, dude. That guy, shredding. Like, I'm trying to remember. Do you know their names, or was there
Uh,
two guitarists, or was there just one?
there was three. Well, two guitarists and a bassist.
Yeah, so I guess was it the lead pick or was it the rhythm one?
Man, I would say they're both co-lead, because they both did. Well, no, I'd say he was.
I don't want to be that guy. It's the brown dude on the left. That's the only guy. That's who I remember. Like he was like a kind of darker skinned brother. Like
I think he was the lead.
that guy fucking shredded. That guy shredded so damn hard. Like there was like 3 solos he did where I'm like, bro, no one asked you to do this, and he's just like fucking. That's so fucking metal, dude. Like, where was the guy? I think it's gotta be this dude. Whatever the hell his name is. He's the second from the left. Yeah, I'm gonna put in the chat and you can confirm if same cat. But yeah, no, it was a sick show. It was cool. And thanks for working with my weird like I don't know, my idolization because like you said, dude, I told him this. I was like he's easily top 5 people I'd have on this podcast just because like I have so much questions about the show, but I also think the guy is like a genius. Like you mentioned, you didn't realize that this is a real band, this show, but can you even comprehend like not only is that the same guy, but he also writes the music, voices 3 of the main characters, and also creates this show. It's insane.
It's like, bro, like, are
It's
you?
knowing that he's able to do all of that.
Yeah, you think that that belongs to at least two people, but no, that's one fucking guy. It's insane, and it's
It
also
is.
sounds good. Like,
And it was definitely, it was something you were talking about it earlier, being a, from day one fan. It's interesting to see the progression from season one all the way up to the recent movie or the musical, the Army of the Doomstar, and seeing how much it changed each season. Where you could see in how season one Brennan took it as almost a joke, like he was trying to make fun of it and just be as silly as possible. And as it got more and more and it picked up the fan base and the following behind it, he started to realize that holy shit, this is more than just a joke now. This is serious.
this is
And
his baby.
it's going to be big. But I think I personally was kind of let down with the movie at the end. It was nice that they tied it all off and finished it, but I liked the goofiness of the earlier stuff more than anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you said that. For me, it's still like we'll say it's like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah, it's still amazing.
But I'm disappointed it's not 10. It wasn't a 10 out of 10, and I want it to be. But like, I guess what do you think would have made it better? Like, you wish it was more silly.
Yeah, I think if they'd have had a little bit more fun with it and been like, it just seemed like you could tell it was the way they were ending it just from the start. This was the end. So it just, I don't know. I don't even know how to put that in words. I just enjoyed the
Yeah.
older stuff and the laughs behind it more. And this one just seemed more, okay, we're done.
Well, technically, the way it ended, I mean, we have, you know, Death Clock's back, baby. I mean, and the real weird thing is they could do another show, which actually would make more sense why he's busy, is if he was actually
Right.
working on more Adult Swim stuff, which I think he easily could.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know, for me, it's kind of weird to explain because it's like the only way I can describe it is like some of those like early season, like obviously one's the funniest, it's really funny, but there's like this kind of like level of like epicness that the second and third season and the songs they had, like I didn't feel the Song of Salvation was pretty badass and epic, but I was expecting like at least two more of those songs. Like, don't get me wrong, Eoric Desecration was sick.
Mhm.
And honestly, what is that? Mutilation on a Saturday night or Friday
Yeah.
night? That's not the song title. It's called something else. It's bro, help me out. What is that? What is it called?
Mutilation in a summer night, isn't it?
I guess I'll with the computer. I'll look that up though. Like how we're mega fans. We done all the new album, Death album 4.
I'm pretty sure it's mutilation on a summer night
Mutilation on a Saturday night. There we
on a
go.
Saturday
There we
night.
go. We were close. We're close. Music wise, uh, just top favorite songs. Those songs I'm crazy about. Volcano, Comet Song, fucking Impeach God's great on album 3. Crush the Industry, The Galaxy. I didn't feel like there were a lot of like real epic tracks like that. Very like kind of crazy synthy orchestry, like epic sounding songs that the fourth album have. Fourth album's got good songs. They're fun songs, but not like album 2 and 3 kind of. You kind of get, am I saying it right? I don't know if I'm.
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Not that there's
I
anything
know.
wrong, because I mean, uh, I like the first Death album, but I'm kind of over it. I've seen them 3 times now, and they play at least like 4 or 5 songs in the album, and I'm just like, man, can we like get away from this? Like, maybe
I
I'm biased. I did see him
no,
like 3 times. I
I noticed that both at the Aftershock show and at the Portland show that there were quite a few similar songs, which I get in a sense because they're used to doing it at the moment and it's what they practice for. But at the same token, I'm with you. You know, they shouldn't repeat the same stuff. They should do more of the newer material, or at least not do the same ones so frequently.
Yeah, exactly. But and I don't know, and it's weird because like I watched Rolling Stone like a couple weeks. I don't know if you saw that, but like that was sick. That was tight seeing them. But I kind of get it when you have so many bangers, you can only play so many songs. But like you said, it's like, bro, like you don't always need to keep playing this song, man. Castrated Cron, that was tight. I think I've seen that maybe. I think it was the first time I saw it. Or did they play that at Aftershock? Castrated Cron?
I believe they did, yeah.
This is, like I said, that disappoints me, man.
Same with Mermaider. They did Mermaider there as well, and the Birthday Death Day, which is one of my favorite.
That is a fun one. I can't. I feel like they also did it at. So I went to the LA show. It was like in 2019. That was the LA show where it was like the Adult Swim Festival. It was sick. It was a lot of talk of like, hey, we're in talks about Death Clock doing something, but it was just I don't know. It was a tight show, but I think they played that there. But it was a lot of the same song. The only ones that were different was they played Comet's song in LA, which I'm glad they did because that song fucks. I love that fucking song. Mind if I ask what you got some favorites of at least album two, maybe per album? Do you have like a favorite song per album, or at least favorite 2, 3 song?
I definitely have quite a few favorites of theirs. Electrocuted was one of my favorites, and when they did that as the secret song for us for the
You
meet and
must have
greet,
fucking loved it.
that was so badass, man. That even just talking about it gives me fucking goosebumps. The Duncan Hills Coffee song, Duncan Hills jingle is a good one.
Wait, did they? But they definitely played that in the concert too, right? Or did
Yeah,
they not?
they did.
Okay, which I'm glad. Glad they did the duel. That's a fun, you know.
The Duel was an amazing one. I've made a lot of fans out of them, new people listening to that song for the first time.
You know what? I like that. I do that too, but I need to do it more, I think, because that's a man, and that's what I'm saying. Like that guy, he wrote both of those parts, and then played both. Like, bro, that's not talented, man. Get out of here, man. Just man,
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
Brendan. I'm glad they play Bloodlines. They always play Bloodlines. I feel like they have to. It's a banger. I'm glad they play the Gears. I'm gonna be mad the day they don't play the Gears. I'll make that clear.
Great one.
I think I'm just disappointed they didn't play the Galaxy, man. I get I ejaculate fire, but like for me that to me that song's overplayed. Like I'm like it's fun, it's a banger. I rather give
Definitely.
me fucking Galaxy or you know what was really tight is when I saw him in Oakland, it was Crush the Industry was what they ended the concert with. And they had fucking Clocketeers march out on stage in unison.
Oh, nice.
I got a video. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But it was the coolest fucking shit ever. Like it was just like it was the best concert. Okay, so here now we're gonna full circle. This is and you know what? Maybe if anything, I can get Brendan listen to this fucking episode. I'm like, hey, I talked to you about your concert, but it was that concert. It was right before my parents split up. It was like the best show for me. I remember it was Machine Head, Black Dahlia Murder, and All That Remained, and everybody brought it, dude. It was
Dang.
so sick. Like there was a guy in a wheelchair, and Black Dahlia Murder is like, okay, everybody, we're gonna circle pit around that guy, and then they fucking they crowd surfed the guy in the wheelchair in his chair. It was so
Nice.
metal. I was like,
That's
fuck yeah.
great.
But you know, it was an amazing show. It was the first time I saw him live. This was about the third album just came out. I think it was about the end of the fourth season, I think, or the start of the fourth. Can't really. I think it was the. I can't remember, but it was just the best show ever. And I remember my parents picked me up from the concert, like to take me back to college, and they was just a really happy time. Eventually, they broke up, for bad, messed up reasons, but that was like the last kind of good, happy memory I had with the family. So I would tell him, and his music was there. when I was going through that shit. So I love you, dog. Come on my damn podcast. Cody, tell him to come on my podcast.
Brandon, come on his podcast,
Come on
man.
my fucking podcast, man. Well, that's going on the YouTube right there.
Well,
Big whiny baby. Thank you. Thank you, Cody. Hopefully we don't ostracize each other from it. We'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be good.
yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, no, dude, that's man, that was such a fun. You know what? And I'm thanks for like listening to my woes and just chatting with me because like that was a sick ass concert. Getting a lanyard was sick. I did you ever see the poster for Dragon Force?
No, I didn't.
Here, I'm gonna show it to you. It was the
Oh,
background from the show.
that's great.
Yeah. Dude, oh my God. I want to see them do a full set. I'm mad I've only seen them do like 5, 6 songs. You know they would have brought it. Like, have you listened to Dragon Force? Like really listened to some of their albums?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, like they got so many damn bangers and like there's like 30 songs that are like 7 to 8 minutes long. It's like you can only play like 5 and that's an hour. Fucking A. Ah, man.
The good ones always are long though. I've
Oh,
noticed.
yeah. Hey, man.
Because I mean, you know, it's a Dragon Force song when they timestamp the guitar solos.
God, I haven't. Do they actually do that in like YouTube videos? It's like, okay, guitar solo 1 now.
They do. They mark it.
That's so fucking funny, dude. I love that. Oh man. If you ever want to work out, Dragon Force is a great band to like rock out to. Like some of those solos, man, can just like get you up the mountain. Can just get that last rep in, dude. It's magical.
Absolutely.
Highly recommend. Well, man, we've been talking a lot about Death Clock, a lot about concerts. I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit though. So if I could ask, have you gone to a lot of concerts, or like, can you maybe throw a number out there, or like, you say it's a lot?
I've been going to concerts since I was 11. Was my earliest concert that I physically went to or that I chose to go to. But according to my mom, my first concert, I was 2 years old and I went and saw the Beach Boys with her.
Cute. Well, oh wait, but that wasn't when you were 11. It was like when you were like a baby, right?
Yeah, I was only 2 and I don't remember it at all, which sucks because that's actually kind of a cool one to have on the belt.
Dude,
But
that's
no,
a really cool one to have on the belt. Like,
I've definitely gone to quite a few shows throughout my life. I'd probably put the number around at least 150 to 200 shows.
that's a good amount, my friend. That is a good amount. Well, then the reason why I asked was I want to ask how many times have you then ran on the rail or rode it, ridden it?
More often than not, at least for a little bit, and I would try and do it at least for one song. But I was always that person that enjoyed getting into the mosh pit or trying to crowd surf, or if the stage allowed it, jumping off the stage and just being a fool and just being that part. I liked being physical at the show, and I liked just the energy that it brought about. But the rail is definitely where now, especially now that I'm older and a little bit stockier in size, I can definitely find myself on the rail a lot more.
Really? Okay. I was actually expecting you to say you were going to be on it less, but okay. All right. What's your secret then? Is it Big Macs? Is it squatting? Like how do you build a
Prep.
physique for the rail?
If I know that I'm going to the show ahead of time, I definitely try and get in some workouts before, leading up to the concert, whether it be a week or two.
Because it's like, I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, we do more than, if you got to stand like for 8 hours a day though. But it was like usually 5 hours, 4 to 5
Yeah,
hours usually. The only
at
difference
least.
is like it's a giant mob of people trying to like fuck your butt. Like that's
Yeah,
just gotta prep yourself for it. You gotta flex.
yeah, you gotta be okay with the random butt touch. That's gonna happen regardless.
The butt touch or like getting ran. Okay, so what was the craziest show that you've ever ridden the rail on?
Man, that's a toss up. There's two that are pretty up there for me. Recently was Born of Osiris with Attila.
Oh shit, dude. You might have
Yeah,
gotten murdered in there. I mean, you're here, but bro,
that
Attila
was
and Born of a Fuck.
and extortionists and traitors.
I don't know if I know those guys, but like
It was absolutely insane.
they're pretty
Uh,
hardcore metalists, like real like
very heavy, in my
brutal.
opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of, depending on who you talk to, there's going to be various names that get thrown out there, but Attila and Born of Osiris and extortionists and traitors, those are all really big names for sure.
Oh yeah, I know.
And
I can just I've seen a
it,
good show when they start going, dude. People like get their asses beat. I mean, granted, not to scare anybody. Go to mosh pits though. People will like pick you up. That's the nice thing. That's what people should do. But I mean, I'll ask you
absolutely,
this.
you got to look out for the crowd surfers, honestly, or the people that jump off the stage, because if you're not prepared for a 200 or 300 pound person to come over the top of you, it's jarring. It definitely freaks you out at first if you're not ready for it.
Exactly. Because everyone has to brace. Like, guys, brace! Like, because I'll break your wrists, man. That's crazy. That's a whole ass person just throwing on it.
If you're on that front row, it's almost like a secondary duty. It's almost expected of you to have eyes in the back of your head. Yeah, you're there to watch the show, which is, feet in front of your face. But, every once in a while, you got to look at those security guards that are in front of you. And if all of a sudden they're crowding around one spot, you better turn around because you might catch, a foot or something like that of people coming forward. And yeah, that could be rough.
Well, so it kind of brings something up, though. I mean, it's like, would you say this, even though that shit's crazy and that's a lot, I mean, do you think it's still worth braving, like braving the feat just because either the view's worth it or it's a level of excitement? Is it worth still doing that despite the dangers?
100 100%. It's worth every bit of it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's all about the experience. And if you're, what's the word I'm trying to think of? If you're too timid, or you're not wanting that level of action and you're out on the back, then you're going to miss out. It's okay to stand at the back of the show, but trust me, there's more fun at the front.
I love that. And I feel like that's a kind of a rule for life too. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, don't be sitting at the back of the bus. If you want to have some fun, be the driver's seat.
Hell yeah. Exactly. You kick that old man. He doesn't know shit. You're gonna drive the bus now. That's what's happening. No, okay, that well, so I want to even go back to the show though, because man, bro, I saw some people. The people were flying over that damn rail though, and I think you were like close to being under it. There were a lot of people you were saving, or
For one of them, yeah, I was definitely pretty close to going over.
FNA? What which con was it? During I think it must have been, was it Dragon Force or was it
Dragon
Death?
Force, when I jumped over the rail to grab his drumstick.
Oh, that's right. I remember, you crazy son of a bitch. You did it too. But he
Yeah, I
got it,
threw
guys. He effing got it. Just
this one right here.
there it is. There it is.
And you're to find out it's actually autographed.
Which is so sick. So, like, did you just walk back and ask them and they got you, or
Uh, for what?
the stick?
No. So usually when I'm on the front rail, no matter what show I'm at, I have a note that I wrote on my phone screen with like my little pen, and
Uh,
it says stick, pick, or set list. And so I'm always trying to get either a guitar pick or a drumstick or a set list. And that just happened to be one of the things that, as I'm holding up my phone towards the end of a show or a song, Guy saw me holding that and he kind of threw it out there, but it bounced off of, five different people's hands that are trying to grab for it.
yeah.
And that went over the rail, and I wasn't about to have someone else snag it because it was, it's 2 feet in front of my face. But of course, that barrier is 3.5, 4 foot tall.
I
So I
remember
had
we
to
all
go.
grabbed your ankles. We were like, "Save him! Pull him, man! Just come on!" Ah,
It took a
just
couple of days But man, I ended up with a bruise from my knee to my hip because of the way that I slid over that rail.
Oh, you bastard.
It was worth it.
No, absolutely. Well, so that really works. Just by telling them, hey man, hook it up, and they
Absolutely. This is my advice for anyone that goes to concerts. If you want, memorabilia from the artist of some kind during the show, if you're on that front rail, don't be afraid to motion, hey, I want a guitar pick, and make that guitar pick motion, or, you know, play the drums, the air drums or something like that. You want them to know that you're wanting that. And 9 times out of 10, if you're confident about what you're saying to them, you'll end up getting it.
heck yeah. And you know what? I mean, and that's for life too. You do not know what you're gonna get unless you take that shot. And I mean, hey, I'm said what I said too. Like I wish I said things differently to Brendan, but I I shot my shot. And that's one thing I can say is I did it. And I will encourage anyone listening to. Well, that's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't think like I wouldn't think it would be that simple. And that blows my mind that it is. Or at least as far as like, hey, just do it.
Yep, don't be afraid, act with confidence, and don't be afraid of the word no. That's the worst they're going to say.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, or they'll say nothing. That's
Right, they'll just
yeah.
they'll nod, and usually that's kind of the trick, is you got to make eye contact as best you can, so that then they're aware of what you're trying to say. And it's obvious that they can't hear you, but when you're a musician, you get pretty good at reading lips.
I never even thought I'd consider that. That's actually hella smart. Wow. Okay.
I know that when I start bringing my kids to the shows, because I got 2 girls, once they're old enough to go to some of these heavier shows, they're going to have a little sign that says, like, this is my first show, or I want a drumstick for my toy kid at home, or something like that. I want it to sound kind of cheesy from the kids aspect, and the kids are going to start getting memorabilia just as easy.
That's amazing. Now, will you use that for evil and just get it for you, but be like, hey, yo, honey, like,
um, all things aside, I'll probably do that at least once or twice for my own personal gain.
hey, you know what, people? He admitted it. I think at least I'll give you props for like, hey, that just being real. Like, I might do it a couple times.
And to be fair, like, I'll make sure that I make it worthwhile for my kid. Hey, sweetheart, get on my shoulders and tell the drummer that you want a drumstick, or have a sign that says I want your guitar, or something stupid like that. And if you do this and you get it, then I'll get you. I'll bribe them with like an ice cream float or sundae or something like that.
Exactly. Like, honey, you don't understand. This is Wayne Static, okay? And you are going to grip his hand not too tight, but just tight enough and ask for the entire drum kit. Like, just it's the final night of the concert. Least I'll do is say, I get the long game you're playing. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I mean, if anything, that's kind of the lesson to learn here. It's like if you want something, you should just ask, and at least someone will do is say no, and if they say no, that's okay. I guess okay.
Yeah, never be afraid to ask.
Concerts, man, concerts, dude, and you know what? I feel like we barely got a chance to talk about your Waldo.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the Waldo thing. As far as like, did you have like a Spider-Man moment where you're like, okay, how am I gonna build this guy? Like, make the costume or
There was this moment like that. So after I had that experience of meeting Waldo, specifically him, and just knowing that I was going to do that the next year, I got the costume. I went back, and it was more of a something to help me get out of my shell more, because I had started being that single dad more, and just kind of secluding myself, and didn't get out a whole bunch. And it was just my way of really pushing that envelope and my own boundaries to be able to get into that environment. As much of an object as Waldo is, and as recognizable as he is, it was definitely that aha moment. It's something that's going to help me change for the better, for sure. And
Well,
if I can
and
get
would you
other
say
people
has
to
it?
adapt it. Hmm?
And would you say has it changed? Like your life
Very
for
much.
better?
It absolutely has. And when it really started to take off is when I got back to Aftershock that next year and explained to Waldo, hey man, I appreciate you for making me laugh that first year and just the way that it made me feel. This is why I'm doing it now, and I hope it doesn't bug you that I'm taking your bit, but I want to be a part of this. And we kicked off a really good friendship, and it's grown exponentially since then. You say a Spider-Man moment, and there's actually I have a picture saved from I think last year's Aftershock where I found three other Waldos, and we all did that Spider-Man pose where we're pointing at each other, dressed as Waldo.
That's so sick, man.
It was such a funny moment,
You
and
gotta send that to me. People need to see that because I'm
I
like you made
totally
that
will.
up, but I know you didn't. Like I can see it. Like that's amazing.
It's so funny, and it's just that the seeing everyone else laugh around me and just have that good time makes me feel that much better the more it happens. And that's why I keep doing it is I do it for the smiles.
And I think like it's to kind of boil that down. I mean, it's like you said, it's like that moment where you just felt connected. Like people were like, "Oh, hey, we are all on the same page on this thing." Or something as silly as just remembering a character in a book where it's like, "You found me!" Ah,
Right? Like even getting to the shows dressed as Waldo, even like just throughout town, I'll get people that'll roll their car windows down and be like, "Oh, Waldo, I found you," and the slew of things that you would expect to say.
but
And
it's such a quick thing because isn't it? Isn't like it's such a it's not very long, but it's like for those few seconds, it feels like I don't know, like I'm only guessing, but probably feel like heaven,
you're
right? Just you're like
absolutely
I
right.
feel connected. I feel like
I do.
we're all
And
smiling, we're all having a good time. Like
for sure. And that really stems into something that I guess something that snowballed from that is how as I go to these concerts dressed as Waldo and I'm meeting the band dressed as Waldo, what goes through my mind after the concert is now that I've met essentially dozens of bands over the last couple of years dressed as Waldo, imagine the conversations that they have after the concert with other bands. Like, oh, dude, this one time at Portland or California, I saw Waldo and we shook hands and talked about it. And, it's just one of those things that I know that they're talking about me and it makes me giggle inside just that little bit, kind of fanboy out.
like ooh. I
Because
think
now instead of me talking about, Wayne Static or Zach Wild from Black Label Society or, any of these other
which
bands,
I saw. So wait, did you get a shout out by Zach or he just saw
uh,
you? He was just like, tell me about
no,
that.
I got to meet Zach Wild and all of Zach Sabbath and got my picture with them and stuff and talked about Waldo as well. And it was actually kind of funny because even he was like, man, as I walked around the corner, because they all have their VIP meet and greets behind curtains in a sense to where the line doesn't see what's going on when you meet them.
Yeah.
As I come around the corner, just the look on their face of like, holy shit, there's a dude dressed as Waldo coming into the outfit is just absolutely hysterical, and they all get a kick out of it. And Zach's like, "Man, I finally found you." And
Uh,
my common response is always, "Well, it only took you what? How many years?" And everybody instantly get transported back to their childhood of reading the Where's Waldo books. So it's just a great way to connect with them on a very simple level.
I love it, man. I mean, that's what we said. We talked about, that's how we got our connection on was I found you and you
Yeah,
held my spot in the rail, man. So if anything, you locked this in forever too. And I don't know. I get to be a part of that too. It's fun. You're right. It's a thing that just keeps on giving.
it is, and I got to give a big shout out to Waldo. Waldo Forsythe is his name, and he pushed me to get to that next level of Waldo. It just I don't know, it's just the way that we clicked, and his inspiration just pushed me to get to that. And now, uh, this year, for instance, we're going to be meeting up at Aftershock, and we'll be getting an Airbnb together, kicking it. So it'll be the Waldo.
Bro, I need to see all the pictures, my guy. Like, I mean, hardcore. I kind of want to get the Waldos on here. I'm like, bro, not only did I find one, I found both of them and they're on my show, dude. Hell yeah.
It'd be
Well,
a
okay.
blast, or he'd have a kick with it for sure.
So, does he have an Instagram, or I mean, would he appreciate the shout out, Mr. Waldo?
Uh, I'm sure he does. I can't remember his handle off the top of my head.
Well, let's just say this. If anyone's interested, you got my email at the end of the show. You've listened to this before. You know how it works. If you're mildly interested, we'll be following him and vice versa. And that's such a fun experience, though. I mean,
It is.
that's why I wanted you to come on my show because you're Waldo, and it's like it all started from another Waldo. It's a beautiful
It's
thing,
fun
man.
to
It's a
run into
beautiful
them at
thing.
concerts too, because it's again, for Aftershock, the reason I go to that one is because of the size and just the amount of time that I'm there for 4 whole days. And close to, let's see, last year it was like 170,000 people in total.
Yeah.
And it's fun to have, one or two people dressed as Waldo. And this year we're going to have some fun with it for sure.
I have something mildly considered, and it might be pretty divisive. Because this was bad. This was way before COVID. This was like I think it was 2018 or 2019. It might have been 20. Nah, I can't remember. It was oh my god, dude. Somebody wore a mask. They may or may have not just became president, and it was this kind of beer festival in Sacramento. I want to say there was a concert afterwards. I think this might have been. I think it might have been Punk and Drublick with No Effects, Flogging Molly, like, you know, real punk heavy beer festival. You want me to go further? Should I? I might bleep it. I don't know. People have a very controversial opinion about this guy. Most people have an opinion about this guy. They don't care for him. Should I keep going?
With everything that's going on in the news right now, probably not.
What's the same? It names with rhymes with Ronald Rump, but he had like a big, like a not like a rubber mask, but like I'll see if I can find the picture. But like he had this thing on this beer festival, and there was this very like it just when you play those like when you kind of dress up like those people, those characters, like it's just weird to see interactions when people are like, dude, you're that person, and
Yeah, yeah.
there a lot of people high fived him. A lot of people said he's a piece of shit. This guy made out with like three chicks. It was weird. It was really weird that people were like, bro, like this is where like, bro, I need like just January 6th makes me horny. I need to make out with this guy. Let me see if I can find it though. But that was just it's crazy, man. It's weird like watching people or just to see the outside perspective, man. It's crazy. And I'm just glad it's you're doing it for good and it's Waldo. Man, Waldo's cool. Waldo's harmless. The whole point of finding Waldo is you gotta find him. Like that's the
Right.
ain't nothing more sweeter, more innocent than that. Shit. It's probably
I think
somewhere.
you had asked, I think, briefly what one of the best things about my Waldo experience so far. And the one that comes to mind is when I was when I was watching Tool at Aftershock.
Oh. Was this 22 or 23?
23 last year.
Okay. Oh, so they were
Okay.
there. Oh, how were they? I've never seen them, but I've loved their music.
No, so that would have been 2 years ago, excuse me.
So yeah,
Man,
how
time
was it?
flies. It was absolutely amazing. First off, it was super loud, but it was nice to work my way from the back to the front dressed as Waldo. I was under the influence of some trippy things, so we'll just say that. And
Okay. Trippy
we
thing.
we were having some fun with it. But as I'm working my way through the crowd, I bumped into who I thought at the time was Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, and because he looked so much like him. And of
Okay.
course, he just got done playing earlier in the day. Limp Bizkit did, which was hysterical and awesome all in the same time.
Who
But
was it then?
as we as I started to kind of interact with this guy, it wasn't actually Fred Durst, but it was somebody who had dressed up to look just like him. And I mean, it was spitting image almost. And as we started working our way more towards the front, because we were both vibing and having a good time, of course it's the end of the night, it's the final show, and I'm kind of, I wouldn't say I was running, but I was definitely going faster than I normally would go at a walking pace.
Right.
And I bumped into a dude that was like bent over tying his shoes, and he whips around. And mind you, I mean, I collided with this man's butt just so perfectly. He went
It's just romance, like Marvin Gaye just hit right at the moment. We were like, oh God,
oh,
this is happening.
it was the clay wheel and dirty dance and all of that. Like, it was just one of those funny moments where how it had happened. But as the dude like gets up almost angrily because I knocked him over because he was bent over at the hip tying his shoe in the dark wearing all black. I didn't see him, but he gets up angrily and turns around and sees the Waldo outfit, and all of the anger in his face completely dissipated, and it was just a light bulb went off in his head. He goes, I cannot be mad at Waldo.
I can't
Waldo
be
just
mad at Waldo. I can't be mad at. I can't be mad at
do
just
that.
the. I've been trying to find him as I found him, and he bumped my ass. It was great.
He gave me a good old prostate exam, you betcha. And he started laughing like excessively to the point he had tears in his face. And then a split second later, he's like grabbing at somebody next to him, and it was his wife. And she turns around, and just that light bulb goes off on her face too. And we all shared a solid laugh over it for sure.
I can't believe it! Oh my God! It's horrible.
Man, I can't believe I found Waldo, and I was like, yeah, at a Tool concert of all places. Who'd have thought it?
Oh, dude, Waldo totally listens to Tool, man. Like, yeah, it's anything. I think like Waldo listens to some crazy shit, like with compliment, absolute compliment. But like
Yeah,
a
Waldo's
man
taste
likes
in
to get
music
down.
is vast.
Okay, so I found the pic. So here we go. Okay, it was yep, here it is. I don't know if I found like I can probably find the picture with him making out with ladies, but we're just gonna put all there you go. Just there it is. I'm gonna put it in the chat. For a second when you were telling the story, I thought it was gonna be like man, I'm such a bad musician fan. I know it's Maynard, but James or Maynard James Keenan. Okay, that's the guy's name. Okay, yeah. I thought like for some reason you bumped into him. I was like, okay, bro, no way that you just almost just like butt rammed the lead singer of Tool.
No, if I'd have done that, he probably would have hit tossed me, man. He's got a black belt in jujitsu or taekwondo. I can't remember.
Yeah, does he? I know he makes
It,
wine, but like I okay, all right. I wouldn't think like he would like I don't know, he wouldn't do that immediately, but he totally could. So, ow. Have you ever met that guy or?
I haven't met him. No.
I don't know. He's somebody that I could see maybe being not so nice, but will also totally recognize that guy is like crazy talented and also doing everything. Like, I don't know, making wine of all things. I'm like, all right, go off, dude.
He is a plethora of talents for sure.
And then you say he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I mean, yeah, I totally see that. Fucking A.
He
And then
just got
he's
it recently too.
good for him. It's weird. It's like everyone's like in the fucking what's his name? The Joe Rogan experience thing. It's like every metalhead. It's like I do jiu-jitsu. I'm in a metal band, and I'll just. It makes you think about like I think Dave Mustaine also has his black belt in jiu-jitsu too.
Mhm.
Does he or like I don't know. That's a weird question
I
to
think
ask,
so.
but oh.
Dave
But
Mustaine's a pretty wild player too, though.
okay, so tell me about maybe the craziest experience or like maybe the like most famous person you've met that like kind of was like, dude, like okay, let me ask you this. Was there ever a time when you were Waldo, But it wasn't like a backstage like meet and greet thing. It was like they saw you and like, bro, you want to meet so and so, or Big Waldo got you somewhere.
That's a good question. I've definitely been able to get my ticket upgraded to a VIP just for wearing Waldo.
Okay, tight.
That's been an interesting one, and one recently that I did that with was Wednesday 13 when they came through. They did all.
I don't know if I know those guys.
You know who the Murder Dolls are?
No, but they sound cool.
So this is a band, an older band for sure, but the drummer was Joey Jordanson of Slipknot,
Okay, I know that guy.
and he did a lot of stuff with them. And when he went off to do Slipknot and then unfortunately passed away, Wednesday 13 ended up doing just all the songs from the Murder Dolls era, and it
Oh
was just
shit!
yeah, and that was a fucking really cool upgrade. So standing in line, the guy's like, man, he struck up a conversation about being Waldo and coming to the concerts and stuff, and he's like, man, what kind of ticket do you have? Oh, I've got just a general admission. He goes, no, man, screw that here, and he gives me a VIP wristband.
Dude, what a fucking savage! What a fucking
Yeah.
what a gentleman! What a
Ended up
fucking
getting an
gentleman!
autographed guitar pick. I got the set list from that night. I got a staged used drum head from one of the opening bands called the Native Howl. Like we struck up a great conversation just because of being Waldo, and that was definitely a very massive moment for sure.
That is so cool, man. That is rad.
Outside of being Waldo, I think the only other one that really stands out to me. Granted, I've met dozens of bands at this point in my life, and they're all phenomenal in their own right. But I think the one that sticks out the most to me was when I got to meet Randy Blythe from Lamb of God.
Oh shit! Is that the lead singer or?
It is. Yeah, I
Okay.
got to meet him out at Knotfest in 2021 out in Iowa.
So fucking crazy. So tell me how that
But
was then.
that was just wild in its own sense for sure. One of those moments where acting with confidence got me great rewards, and being in an area where I shouldn't have been, exploring places and probably places that only staff should be, ended up running into
Fucking
Randy and
hey, dude, what the hell? Okay, you gotta tell me all this story. I gotta figure out how the hell you got here.
so I was wandering around in between sets because it was just one day, and the band at the time that was on I didn't care to listen to, so I was just exploring. I went and got my food, my drinks, and as I was going back to head to the front area where the stage was, I just saw a spot where there was an opening in the fence, and I started to follow it. So one thing led to another, and as I'm getting closer to like where obviously staff is more at, ended up running into Randy there, and he's like, hey, you really shouldn't be back here. It's like, yeah, I know, my bad, I'm out of here, really good to meet you, not gonna ask for an autograph or a picture or anything like that, just good luck for the show. And he literally just kind of gave me the thumbs up and the positive nod, and said, all right, man, see you later, have a good time. And he went his way and I went mine, and yeah, that was definitely.
What a rad dude, because that could have gotten really okay.
Oh
What a
yeah,
savage. What a
I was
savage.
thinking like, man, this dude's gonna rat me out to security, but no, definitely not.
You're out of
And
here. Get this man out of here.
I
Yeah.
think what kind of saved me on that was the fact that I didn't ask for an autograph and I didn't ask for a picture. It was just, hey man, I know who you are. You're really fucking cool, and I wish you the best on the show tonight. I can't wait to see it.
You're like
And the show was
no high
killer.
five though, no like you didn't dap him up. You just like you got the thumbs up, man. At least you got the whole like
Yeah,
okay.
he was very clearly on his way to go grab his stuff and get ready for his set 'cause it was coming up pretty quick. But
It's bro, I gotta rock it in because I maybe you gotta get like in a kind of like mode. Like, dude, I gotta think about punching faces and like can't be having Waldo breaking and just like, hey guys, how's it going?
yeah, that was definitely something else. It was fun.
But I also you told me this was off the cast, but you met Gene Simmons, which is like, I mean,
Yeah,
tell me about that,
um,
man. Oh crap.
that was again one of those things with Aftershock, and just dressed as myself. I wasn't dressed as Waldo or anything like that. After the show, it was just hanging out, and after concerts, I like to sit around as much as possible. I whether it be until the set crew is done loading up gear, any of that, I'll always seem to stick around. I don't know why. It's just something that I do. And as Kiss was finished at Aftershock, I started kind of going out towards where all the buses are and where I know that they do the loadouts and stuff. And it was just a very quick passing as far as him going by, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, I know who you are. And he's like, man, I saw you up by the front rail the whole time. You were fucking kick ass. And he dapped me up, and it was just humbling. It was
That's
real.
so cool, dude. That's so rad.
Somebody that was there. He saw me and he recognized me afterwards, and it felt good to be noticed.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm
That
Gene
was
Simmons.
fucking something else.
You were fucking badass for riding the rail. Here's 15 cents off Kiss merch. Oh, it's fucking rock on. Oh, fucking. That's so cool, man. Holy shit. That is fucking metal. And was he in makeup still, or was he just like all cleaned up after that?
The makeup was smearing pretty hard because he'd already wiped his face with his rag a bunch.
Still, dude, that's man, because like so we talked about this. I kind of hear things about Gene and about Kiss though, but I mean, like, bro, like God, we can talk about rock gods, man. I mean, like, because that man's been doing it for a minute, and I never saw Kiss live. I mean, was it a show? Was it just like fireworks and crazy bullshit and all that?
It is. They are entertainers times a million. Their concerts are very much so a show. It is all about the eccentric acts and the wild things that they do, the fireworks. The really cool one was when Paul Stanley was on the zip line going from the stage to the center where like the sound booth was. They had a big old high rise where he'd go from there on the stage up to that high rise and then play on his guitar and then come back down. And Gene did this big thing where he did the whole blood out of his mouth. And dude, that was something else. And it was a very special concert for me for sure.
Hell yeah, man. So I'm kind of even getting the vibe of it's just like these Waldo encounters though. This have just been happening for it's been kind of a recent thing, but I mean, it just sounds like you're just getting started with the Waldo.
I feel like it is definitely just starting to hit the ground. The decision to change my Instagram handle to the Washington Waldo was, I think, the start of something very special for sure when it comes to this character and this interaction with bands and concerts and stuff. And you're right, it has just recently started, but man, it's taking off like a wildfire. And
And
I'm
dude,
I'm excited to see where it takes me.
absolutely, and I get to say that I got to have you like I don't know, I got your first couple steps though, and I know like you come back on or just give it a couple years, like it's gonna be even bigger. And I'm like, hey, remember that Washington Waldo? Look at him now, man. He's now the Waldo. He killed the other Waldos. He's the West Coast Waldo now. This is his territory. Don't wear the hat if you're not about it. Just kidding.
Fighting the other Waldos like Highlander, the one with Jet Li.
There can be only one.
There can be only one!
I like the double reference there, which I don't think I've ever technically seen the one with Jet Li. I don't know if
That's a pretty good one too.
fucking blockbuster. I that was one of those movies I always walked past. It's like I don't know if you have one of those where it's like when you think of blockbuster, you think about the one rack of movies. There's always like Airplane, When Harry Met Sally, Secrets, and just something like that.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh, bro, oh my god, dude. Freaking movies that are always playing on Comedy Central in the afternoons. Was that fucking movie, dude?
Wow.
Oh man. Well, dude, I mean, that's so cool. And you kind of shared about it a little bit. The Washington Waldo, that's your Instagram handle. If anyone wants to get a hold of you, it's is that how it's spelled? It's the Washington Waldo, or is there dots? Is there
Uh,
underscores?
there's underscores in between each name, so
Okay.
the underscore Washington and so forth.
Okay, we'll make sure we'll put it in the description so that way, you know, if anyone wants to like get a hold of you, see some of these pictures though, that's where it's gonna go. And oh man, like I appreciate just even just the conversations we had and I don't know, man, we barely got into conversations about, you know, you single dadding it up and just like kind of we didn't even talk about the grief conversation though. But just from me to you. This is just for us. I guess I appreciate I got a chance to know you at this sad time for me, but also I got a chance to know you for the sad time you're dealing with. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds for you, my guy. I'm really excited.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Before it might be wrapping up. I don't know if you can hear, but like they played like almost the last song. It's encore now. It's very much encore. So you got the fan favorites though, but at least for the closer, your Mount Rushmore of concerts you've been to. Now, I want this is they rock the hardest. They had the best show. It kicked the hardest ass. It meant the most to you. Like they can be varied, but like I want at least like your top four. Like what do you got?
Starting off at the bottom, probably gonna put man, of all the years and all the different concerts, there's some pretty good ones.
I know, dude. I'll give you. You know what? You got five. You did say over 200. I could give you 10 if you need 10, but if I'm being generous, I'll only give you five. If you can do five.
Right off the bat, I think a really big one would be Ozzy. Seeing Ozzy with Black Sabbath was a pretty good one.
What year was the show? And when you said Black Sabbath, we're talking about Tommy Iommi, like Geezer Butler, like those guys.
Yeah, yeah. Original lineup would have been Ozfest 2001.
Damn. Okay. Nice. Nice. Did they play any Dio songs or any Dio era Black Sabbath? Or was it strictly just Ozzy stuff?
I don't remember right offhand, honestly. It's been so many shows ago.
It's fair. That's fair. But tell, tell me about it. Like what you can remember. Like why was it so badass?
Oh man, it is just that was my first Ozfest.
Okay.
That was the whole thing to it, you know.
I don't think I've ever technically been to an Ozfest.
Oh man, I might be mixing up my years. It was so long ago. I was younger too. It's just there's been so much life between then and now. I might
Touche.
be getting years mixed up, but
Okay.
it was at an Ozfest. I know that, and that was definitely special for me. It was just being the first bigger, heavier show that I went to. I think is why it solidified a spot in the top five for me.
And I mean that's that setup, that lineup is insane. Like Black Sabbath, like with original Ozzy's, like up there with like original cast of the Misfits. Like there was some bangers that were played in some rock classics that were like not only did your mom have sex to this song, but like this was jamming on everybody's radio. You know, like okay, so we could still say right there,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually. It's gonna bug me.
is it? Is it? Well, if you want to remember, remember. If you can't, we can go on to the next head.
The joy of having object permanence and ADHD is that unless it's something that I replay in my mind over and over again, I forget about it a lot.
Oh, dude, man, fucking like you know which cat podcast you've been on. Like it's I'm pretty sure I asked you like 12 different questions, and I'm with you there. I'm with you there, brother.
Let's see. After them, Static X is going to be right up there for me.
Was it this recent show, Static
Probably.
X, or when you broke the guy's hand?
So we'll do that for spots 4 and 3 because the one when I did the hand that was I'm actually looking at the poster now. It's 2009 that show was on the Snowcore tour with Saliva, Burn Halo, and the Flood,
Oh wow, dude, what a
and
lineup!
that was definitely a very memorable concert because it was the last one that I got to see before I moved to Alaska.
Oh, so are you from Oregon originally?
I am from Oregon originally,
Okay,
born in Medford.
Okay, so it's Medford, Oregon, then Alaska, then back to Oregon. Okay,
You know, Washington now, but still
sorry,
close
yeah.
enough. I'm right there on the other side of Portland. After that, number two, I'd probably put it up there with Kiss. I think would probably be my number two. Either that or Machine Head.
Let me ask,
Good one.
for Static X, what would have been better when you saw them with the OG singer or this recent time with the guitar?
Man, I'd probably have to say this recent time with the guitar.
That's in you no judgments, man. No judgments.
Yeah, it just took so long since I'd seen them that it brought back memories from listening to them, you know, throughout my childhood, honestly. You know, all the way from 99 before they even put out their first album to this recent one, Project Regeneration 2, I think it's called.
And you said it was really like respectful on it too. So I mean, like I think that's super rad. Like,
It was, and I think that's why I'd probably put the recent one up there ahead of the OG. Granted, the OG has its own spot for sure, just because you can't recreate the original, but they definitely earned my respect for what they do now. Absolutely.
okay. Which hey, I think that's rad. That's and dude, you got a guitar from it. Like I can't get that over my fucking mind. Like you got a whole signed ass guitar. Like
Yeah, it's pretty fucking badass. And because I spoiled myself at that show, I was like the first one in the door, and at the merch booth they had a autographed staged used drum head that I had to buy.
oh my God. But hey, I mean, you got some memorabilia, man. We talking about some memorabilia. You got some stuff. So okay, all right. So we got them, got Ozzy and Sabbath and Ozfest, and then I think you said, did you say Machine Head? So you like Machine Head too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Machine Head was a freaking amazing one. Machine Head, Fear Factory, and Head PE. That was just a wild concert.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. When I got a chance to see them when it was just Unto the Locust came out. Like I slammed that album. I like played that album so much. Like that I love those guys, man. Like they go hard and they're just fun. They're a sick show.
Yeah, they are an amazing show.
So okay, so we got and then I guess we have one more to the last two or
Yeah, so for the last two, man, I'd probably put it up there with, oh man, it's so hard to put them down to just the best ones. Seeing Tool was monumental for sure. I'd probably,
and this was Aftershock.
yeah, I'd probably put Tool at number two for me.
Okay. I mean, man, it sounds crazy that you've seen so many like kick-ass concerts because that's the one thing I would say I had an issue with Aftershock before is that because it's such an kind of arena venue, it's like well, the cool thing is you get a show, you get stage props, you get like the real glitz. So tell me about Tool then. So how was Tool and tell me like what they start with, what was the set like?
So as usual with Maynard, he doesn't like to be the front and center. He likes to be behind the curtains in a sense, singing
Yeah.
from the shadows. And the LED setups that they had with the lasers, it was just what you would expect at a Tool show. The vibe was so, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to describe it. It was fluid. It was just so, everyone who was there was just one, if that makes sense. And everyone had that same.
Tool's music's like a trance. It's like it like puts you under a spell. It's like you said,
It does. And
everyone's just on the same level. It's crazy.
I've quickly learned with Tool, it's one of those bands that you either love them or you hate them.
Yeah,
There's very few people that are middle ground with Tool,
no in between,
and
exactly.
being able to see them live and get as close as I did. Granted, I didn't get to the rail for them because that was packed, but man, it was an experience in its own sense, and just the visuals and the way that it's presented as a show. is much more than just, hey, look at these guys on stage. It's the feeling of what the music is doing to you inside and how it churns your emotions. It was really magical for sure.
And that's the one downside I wish I got a chance to see them, because like for those exact same reasons, dude. Like I know that was like I know they brought it. I know they were gonna be a sick show.
Definitely a good one.
I'm so glad that you got a chance to actually have a really good, enjoyable. I don't know, man. And the best part is a lot of this sounds like is that you're just getting started. Like you've been going to concerts so much that this is only going to be a drop in the bucket of your Waldo journey. And I'm excited to see where you're going, man. I mean, this is literally just your first stop. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you this:
Oh yeah.
your perfect concert. You got backstage pass. You control who's the headliner, or if you can have two co-headliners, who's the opener, you get to decide how long their sets are. And you could be like, they're playing all of this album. Like, what do you
Ooh.
what are you watching? What are you checking out? I know. Again, another hard question. I'm sorry, man. I should have wrote this down.
Well, before I answer that one, my number one band though for shows that I've seen was probably Slipknot, honestly.
Okay. And I'll tell you, I only maybe know just like the radio hits and like the stuff that most people know about Slipknot, but like I've never also technically seen them live. Like, are they just a crazy show? Do they just go hella hard? Like, Corey's a musician. I will give that to Corey.
It,
He brings it. But
it goes heavy for sure. They do not disappoint, and it is always exciting. Like the level of energy is through the roof at every one of their shows.
heck yeah, okay. So would they be the opener then?
Man, yeah, probably. I'd probably put them as the opener.
Okay.
It was as bad as that is for Slipknot to be an opener. They
I
haven't
don't
had to
think
do that.
so. I think they. I mean, is it that they haven't done it in a while, kind of thing, or
Yeah, they definitely haven't been a opener in a while.
I think they'd be a crazy good one. I could easily see a crazy good opener.
See, and this is where my love of music gets so vast, and just what I enjoy is so different from one another bands, that my lineup would be such a hodgepodge of different types of music. It wouldn't just be a metal fest or a rock fest. It'd be various, artists and styles. So after Slipknot, it would probably be Muse.
Dude, I'll ask. Have you seen Muse
90%.
live?
I have. Again, at Aftershock, that was a big one.
Okay, damn, bro. So I'm upset. The last time I went to an aftershock, it was sick. It was tight. It was a Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch. Volbeat was sick. I saw him from very far away, but like that was like there weren't a lot of like, oh my god, this band really brought it. Granted, maybe they had some years to really perfect that shit, but like no, I've seen Muse before. They're amazing. They're incredible. I saw them at like a stadium, and they had like was like an hour set list. It was like 30 minutes when you saw them at Aftershock.
They were headliner at the end of the 4 days, so it was I think almost an hour.
An hour. If you, I mean, if they can really go for two or an hour and a half, bro, like bro, they when they just get start, they just get start, man. Like they are. I mean, you enjoy
Yeah.
just the hour, man, bro. They good choice. Let's just say that Slipknot Muse. That's a kick-ass choice. That's I don't know. I like the vibe. We got her like, okay, I'm high, and I want to veg out and just get like jamming into this weird song, this weird shit, and then I got okay, now I'm drunk and angry, and I'm ready to do all the moshing in the world. That's Slipknot. So that's
Yep.
I don't know. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. I'll do it. I'll check it out.
And then after them, we'll do co-headliners. So second up would be, oh my gosh, as goofy as he is, I like Tech Nine a lot. I've seen him countless times live, and it's always fun. You know, it's I enjoy it personally. That's definitely one of my ones.
I've heard I've heard the same thing. It's like people who like Tech Nine really like Tech Nine. I dig it. And this is yours. This is your concert. So we got Tech Nine. I think still a sick show. That's a good variety. You got like kind of metal rap. You got weird, and I love Muse. I don't even know what to even call Muse. It's like it's just it's alternative rock, but it's not. It's like space rock, but not. I don't know. It's just and then you got Slipknot, which already like I mean it's metal, but also they have like man, I think it was like one album I listened to where it was like a completely like different sound than their usual shit. So they just got good variation too. You got a good concert going on here, man.
Yeah. After them, man, it's just I like the heavier stuff for sure, but I've seen so much of it that I like to add and incorporate other stuff. I one person that I still haven't seen live would be Rammstein.
My buddy's seen them. Says they are crazy. Like they are just a whole nother level of like entertainers and just like metal. But it's not just metal, it's also grooving and just it's crazy, man.
Right. And their whole set, you know, it's pyrotechnics and fireworks and just it's a show. It really is a show. Just like Kiss, you know, another amazing one to probably if I could, I'd put them on my list, but you know, it is so entertaining to see them do their thing on a stage with Rammstein and all their fire. It's in just out of this world.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, bro, I think this is a tight setup though, and I mean, if anything, we put it out in the universe, God or whoever wants to hear you wants to give you the perfect place. We got Muse, we got Ramstein, got Slipknot, Slipknot, Ramstein, maybe Muse, and I fuck it, Muse and Tech Nine. Why not? They go to a coffee shop. They find out they have the same gamer tag, or they both like playing Helldivers or whatever the thing is. There it is. There you go.
I'd probably even switch out Tech Nine for, you know, and probably like Dark Angel with Gene Hoglan.
Dude, and didn't that lead singer die too?
Yeah, Jim Durkin, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was a little EP from Adult Swim called Metal Swim.
Yes.
There's I think it's called what is it though? What song is it though? It's like Dark Angel. What tribute is it?
Well, they're both good bands.
Yeah, Metal Swim EP. Damn, it was Death Angel. So fuck, what's Dark Angel then? Shit.
It's still heavy stuff.
I was gonna be mad if Gene Hoglan was in both these bands. I'm like, bro,
He
what the
is.
fuck? Like, are you just in all the like Angel
He,
bands? Like Dark
Gene
Angel,
Hoglan,
Death Angel.
the Atomic Machine, man.
Dude, he is the atomic machine. Which, by the way, dude, he barely looked like he broke a sweat, dude.
I mean,
Atomic
you
clock,
think of all
dude.
the bands that man's been in. He's been in Testament, Dark Angel, Death Angel,
Yeah,
Death. I did the list
Strapping Young Lad,
of stuff.
Evan Townsend. Yeah, no, dude. This man put in work,
He is a legend for sure. And he was another person when I shook his hand that kind of surprised me that he didn't try and break my knuckles.
though. Wait, so I'm okay. Was it just like you think he was just trying to be nice and not trying to break your hand, or do you think he did not have the strength?
No, I think he was reserving it for playing the drums.
Smart, smart. Because I'm like, there's no freaking way that guy couldn't crush your hand. That guy's like 8 feet tall. He looks like a shaved Sasquatch. I love you, Gene. We love you, but come on my podcast. Whatever. We love you.
Do it. Get on the podcast.
On the Gene, come on, dude. You're not even actually. I think they're still touring. Or he's with another band right now touring. Like I was just like, you son of a bitch. Like go home. Like sleep. Go relax. Like
Yeah, after that Death Clock show, everyone started going about and doing their own thing again.
that's just crazy, man. Because it's like they've. 'Cause I'm pretty sure weren't they already on tour technically with yeah, like literally like last fall with what was Baby
Baby
Metal?
Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bro, like go home, man. Like oh, maybe you're used to porta potties or something. I don't know. Fuck it. Well, dude, this has been tight. You know, Tommy Lee's finishing his drum solo, and then we're gonna call it a night. We talked about a lot of real cool shit, and I think the overall message of just like don't be afraid to like to wear the deep V, to jump for that stick. Like don't be afraid to put yourself out there or ask the universe for something because you might be surprised at what you might get. I mean, anything else Waldo would like to share before you go back into hiding so people can find you again?
Yeah. Never be afraid to try something new. It may be scary at first, but it's worth it at the end.
Solid words from Waldo. You know, I was just thinking the entire time of this episode, we always ask, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? But how's Waldo?
Ah! Oh, that was great. I love it.
I wish I asked that in the beginning. That would have been way more smarter. But that's fucking OPESpodcast, baby. We're way more smarter.
It's really funny that you asked that question because something that I'm probably going to get made so I can give it out at Aftershock is little stickers that says exactly that. It's always where's Waldo, not how's Waldo, and then have like a sad Waldo in the picture.
I think that's brilliant, dude. I might. It sucks is we had some sick ass episode titles already. That might just be a subtitle because that's just too good not to talk about right there. Well, I'll ask this, Waldo. You doing okay, bud? You doing fine?
I'm doing really good right now. Life is on an upward swing, and I'm enjoying every bit of it.
I'll be praying for you that that continues, and any challenges that you do face, that you are reminded how strong and how freaking. I mean, bro, you got a camo, dude. People are looking for you. They're gunning for you, man. You're already got a target on your back, literally. But you got this. You're Waldo, baby.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, ladies, actually, we got a good 50-50 split on the people who listen to. It's like men my age and young moms. And by young moms, I mean moms in their 40s. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming to another episode. You've listened to. Well, you actually found out today that Waldo is just like everybody else, an ordinary person with an extraordinary story. Be safe and ride some rails and crowd surf. You haven't crowd surf? Stop what you're doing right now. Put down this. Just do it. Do it right now. Done. Like,
Give your phone to your friend, hand them your stuff, and just do it.
bam. I'm gonna put a splat noise for people who jumped and missed people. Another sound effect. You guys have been Metal. I've been Tristan. This is my good buddy Cody. Y'all have a good night. And there we go. Thank you for listening to another episode of Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. If you're interested in helping the channel, feel free to click on the link below to get access to our Patreon, where we have exclusive episodes and clips not shown to the public. And of course, if you believe you yourself have an interesting story to tell, or know somebody who would be great for the show, feel free to email me back at OPESpodcast@gmail.com. That's OPES. That's the acronym for the show, Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories, OPES, podcast@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, and until next time.